Hello everyone. So how are you all? And do you all remember what we have done in the last class? So in the last class we talked about the trajectory of a ball thrown at an angle theta with the horizontal, right? And we have also calculated the mathematical equation of the trajectory. Do you remember what was the equation? So yes, the equation which came out to be was an equation of a parabola, right? And we have understood what were the constants of that equation, okay, what they stand for. And then after, at the end of the lecture, I also posed a question. I hope you all have thought about that question. So did you think about that question? So I asked the question that a person sitting in a car which is moving at a horizontal velocity in the horizontal direction, he throws the ball vertically upwards, okay? And if we neglect the air resistance, then where will the ball land, okay? So what do you think? What will happen? Any ideas?
It will come back in the person's hands.
Okay. So yes, very good. So let me explain that what will happen. So if there is a person, okay, this is a car, okay, and a person is sitting in a car. He throws a ball vertically upwards and the car is moving with a constant velocity v in the horizontal direction, okay. Now with respect to the person sitting in the car, the ball has only vertical component, right? But with respect to a person standing here on the ground, the ball will have a horizontal component also in addition to the vertical component, right? So if the ball will have both the horizontal and the vertical component, then the ball will follow the parabolic path, right? That's what we have learned in the last lecture. And another very important point to note down is that the horizontal component of the ball thrown will be equal to the velocity of the car in the horizontal direction. So because of which if the car is going like this, right, at every instant the ball horizontal component will be exactly equal to the velocity of the car, right? So what will happen? As the car is moving, the ball is exactly above the person's head, right? So if we neglect the air resistance, the ball will land in the person's hand.
It's cover at every time.
Yes. Okay? Okay. So now, after this question, now let us study more about this projectile motion of a ball which is thrown at an angle theta. Okay? And today in this lecture, we are going to ask many more questions. Okay? So, for example, again let us take a ball. Thrown at an angle theta, okay. Also, I have thrown with certain velocity, okay. Let us take that velocity v naught at an angle theta. Now, what are the different questions we can ask? Okay, the first question we can ask is that how high the ball will go, right? So that what we call as the maximum height of the ball when we throw the ball at an angle theta. Another question which we can ask is how far the ball will go, right? And this will depend upon what? That I have already fixed that with what velocity I will throw the ball, okay? And also the angle which I have, at the angle at which I have thrown the ball, right? So let us calculate that.
Velocity means speed.
Yes. Okay. The distance which it will cover in the horizontal direction, we call that as range, horizontal range. Okay, and the maximum height the ball will cover, we call that as maximum height. Okay. Now, we have already learnt in the first lecture that the horizontal motion will not affect the vertical motion, right? So, I can use the kinematic equations which we have learnt in chapter motion in one dimensions in both the x and y directions separately. Okay. So, and how do we proceed in order to calculate the maximum height? What we can use? We can use the kinematic equation in the vertical direction, let us say in the y direction. Okay. So, what we will calculate? We will calculate that. So, what will happen when I throw the ball will go, the speed when it goes up, the speed will reduce, right? At certain point, the speed will become 0, right?
The horizontal speed.
No, I am talking about the vertical motion.
Sorry, the vertical speed.
Yes. Okay. So, when I throw the ball up, what happens? Because of acceleration due to gravity, the speed of the ball will keep on decreasing, and at a certain point it will become 0, right? And then, so is this point clear? Okay. So, once again you listen. I am saying that the ball is thrown at an angle theta, okay, with the velocity v0. Okay. Now, this ball will have two components, horizontal and the vertical component. Okay. And we have also learned in the last lecture that the horizontal component will be v0 cosine of theta. Okay. And I call this as v0x, and the vertical component will be v0 sine theta. Okay. Now, as the ball is going up, then what is happening? The vertical component of the velocity is decreasing. Why? Because there is acceleration due to gravity in the vertical direction, right? So, when the ball reaches the highest point, the vertical component of the ball will be 0, right? And when the ball again come down, then the vertical component of the velocity will again start increasing, right? In the downward direction, because the ball is coming down, right? And in the same time, when the ball is going up and coming down, the horizontal component remains the same. Okay. So, we can just take these two directions, or we can use the kinematic equation in these two directions separately. Okay. So, what we have to calculate first? First we have to calculate, we can calculate using the kinematic equation in y direction, we can calculate the maximum height the ball has reached and the amount of time it takes to go up and come down. Okay. So, now, let us do that. So, you all have learned the three kinematic equations, right? The first kinematic equation which you all have learned is V is equal to U plus AT, right? That is the first equation. We will use second equation you all have learned, S is equal to UT plus half AT square, right? And the third kinematic equation which you all have learned is V square minus U square is equal to 2AS, right? So, in order to calculate the maximum height, we can directly use the third kinematic equation. Okay. So, first I am writing the form which you all have learned is V square is equal to U square plus 2AS, right? Now, the variables which I have used in my previous lecture, in this lecture, we can write that. Now, first I am choosing my coordinate system. Upward direction I am taking to be positive, and the downward direction I will take to be negative. Okay, so taking the vertical direction now, first we will take the write the kinematic equation in the vertical direction. Okay, v square vy, because I am taking the y direction, is equal to, what is the initial velocity of the ball in the vertical direction?
V naught
v naught
sine theta.
y, okay, where v naught y is v naught sine theta, okay, plus 2, how much is the acceleration in the vertical direction?
Minus g.
Minus g, okay, because I am taking downward to be negative direction. So minus g, s I can take h maximum. Okay, now
What is max in the?
so here h max is the maximum height up to which the ball will go. Okay, now so now just we said that when I throw the ball up at the maximum height, what will happen? The vertical component of the ball will become 0, right? So this will become 0. This is Vy at the maximum height, right? This is equal to V naught sine theta whole square minus 2g h maximum. Is this clear to all of you?
V naught y, that expression you have put.
Yes. So I have put V naught y is equal to V naught sine theta. Okay. Now from this equation I can write 2g h maximum I bring on the left hand side, okay, or I just bring only h maximum. This is equal to V naught square sine square theta over 2g. Okay. This is our first result, not first, basically second. Earlier we have already derived the equation of the trajectory of this parabola, right? Now this is the maximum height of the ball attained by the ball when it is thrown at an angle theta with the initial velocity v naught. Okay. Now what is other things we can calculate? Now I can also calculate by using the kinematic equation in the vertical direction. I can calculate the time taken by the ball to reach the maximum height, right? There is nothing new I am doing. I am using the same kinematic equations which you all have learnt earlier. The only important thing to understand is that I am using the kinematic equation I will be using in vertical and horizontal directions separately. Okay. So now if I want to calculate the time taken to reach the maximum height, I can use the first kinematic equation which you all have already learned. V is equal to u plus at, right? Okay. So now let us calculate the time taken by the ball to reach maximum height. Okay. V is equal to u plus at, right? This is the usual equation which you all have seen. Now here, what is V? Again, Vy in the vertical direction, right? At the highest point, I am calculating the amount of time taken by the ball to reach the maximum height. Okay. And this is V naught y. What is A again? Now in the vertical direction? Minus g. So, is this fine? Right? Now, again Vy at the highest point is 0, right? This is V naught sine theta. The initial velocity the vertical component of the initial velocity in the vertical direction is v naught sine theta minus g into t, right? So t is equal to v naught sine theta over g, right? So this is the amount of time taken by the ball to reach the maximum height. Now, if I ask you another question, that how much time the ball will take to come down? So what do you think?
Double that.
Double of this.
So the amount of time the ball should take to come down should be same, right?
Because
Why?
It's a parabola, it's symmetric thing.
Yes, and also for what we have learned in motion in one direction, that because the same acceleration due to gravity is there, right? Same force is acting on the ball. So the amount of time it will take to reach the highest point should be equal to the amount of time it will take to reach the ground, right? So that what we call this is total time of flight of the ball, right? So that which I will denote by capital T. Okay, so this is time of flight, means the amount of time the ball was in the air. Okay, so when I throw the ball at an angle theta till the time it hits the ground again. So this is called as time of flight, and that is just 2 times of this amount of time. So it will be 2 v naught sine theta over g. Okay, so this is how we will get the second expression, right? So it is exactly the same way I am doing, just I have taken the kinematic equation in the vertical direction and I have used the kinematic equation in the vertical direction, and I have just used the first and third equations, right? Now, in order to calculate that how far the ball will go, right? For that, what information do I require?
The horizontal, the horizontal component of initial speed.
Yes, that we already know.
Also the
Okay,
time for which it is in air.
Time of flight.
exactly. So we have, in the first lecture, we have understood that if I throw a ball in the horizontal direction with certain speed, then the amount of time it takes to hit the ground is exactly equal to amount of time if I drop a ball, right? So these two times are same. Why? Because the horizontal motion is not affecting the vertical motion, right? Here also, the amount of time if I throw the ball at an angle theta, the amount of time the ball is in the air, and if I throw the ball with the same horizontal component of the velocity, just like that, the amount of time it takes on the ground, the amount of time will be same, right? So already I have calculated the time of flight. So using this information, I can calculate how far the ball will, how far the distance or how much the distance the ball will cover in the horizontal direction, and that is what we call as horizontal range. Okay, so and that we denote by R. Okay, horizontal range. So R is equal to, yes, now what is the kinematic equation in the horizontal direction to calculate the distance? S is equal to ut plus half at square, right? But for our case, is there any force or acceleration in the horizontal direction? So the second part of the equation is 0, A is 0, right? So what do we get? S is equal to u into t. Half at square is 0, right? And what is u into t? U is the horizontal component of the velocity, right? And t is the total time of flight. So we can directly get, so that is I can write v naught x into time of flight, right? And this we know that it is v naught cos theta, and time of flight already I have calculated, that is 2 v naught sin theta over g, right? If I want to write this in a little compact form, you all have learnt in trigonometry that 2 sin theta cos theta I can write as
Sine 2 theta.
very good. Yes. So I can write horizontal range formula as V naught sine of 2 theta over G. Okay. So this is if I know theta and okay. So if I know theta and the initial velocity, then I can find the horizontal range, I can find the total amount of time the ball will take to hit the ground again and also the maximum height. Okay. So you can remember all these expressions, but what I would suggest that in the problems, when in the beginning when you do the projectile problems, you should not use these formulas directly. Okay. Because one has to be careful, these formulas are valid when the projectile, when the ball is thrown from the ground to the ground. Okay. Otherwise, you can make a mistake. So it is better in the beginning, always you use the kinematic equations and the logic to calculate these parameters. Okay. So, but after some time when you are habitual and you have done lots of problems, you can also directly use when you are you are clear in your brain that if you are using the formula correctly. Okay. So after this driving these, we are going to do some more problems on projectile, okay, in different kind of cases. For example, if a ball is thrown from a hill of height h, right, how much time it will take to hit the ground, or with what speed I should throw. For example, if I know the height of the hill, with what speed I should throw so that it covers certain amount of distance on the ground. Okay, depending upon the situation, we can calculate the different problems. Okay. Okay. So now I would like you all to look at this expression carefully, okay, and tell me and that at what angle should I throw so that the range is maximum. Okay. So this is a question for you all, that keeping the speed of the ball fixed, okay, that at what angle should I throw so that it covers the maximum distance in the horizontal direction. Okay. So think about it. We'll again discuss this in the next class.